Well, good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. Welcome to the Saturday Night Raiderland podcast. I'm Ryan Hyatt. Glad you're taking a little time with us this evening or whenever you take in the podcast. Thanks for hanging out here in Raiderland. Texas Tech Director of Intercollegiate Athletics Kirby Hocutt has a problem, and for the first time, he's actually part of the problem. It's been a long time coming, probably. He's been able to dodge not through deflection, but just through doing a good job. But now he is facing scrutiny over the Texas Tech football program. We're going to forget the game for a minute against West Virginia. We're not going to break down the X's and O's. Really what we're going to look at tonight is the fallout from the game, the fan reaction during the game, at the stadium, on social media, and elsewhere. It's been said before that Texas Tech support is a mile wide, but it's an inch deep. You can lose it quickly. And right now, I think what we are seeing is the Tubervillification of Cliff Kingsbury, and nobody wants that. Everybody wants Cliff to succeed. He's a favorite son. It reminds me of the old Spike Dykes days when they'd call into the show and say, I love Spike, but. Well, you're seeing a lot of I love Cliff, but right now, tonight, and it's been building up over several years. He owns this program now. Everybody there, from coaches to players, it's all part of him, and every bit of the culture is Cliff Kingsbury as a head coach. I've said before, I'll say it again. It's not always that you lose. Yeah, losing will get you fired, but it's how you lose. It's what's happening in the process that people look at. And we went to Twitter today, and I know it's not scientific, but I asked a lot of Texas Tech fans, what frustrated you the most about today? And what I got was a little bit of the old adage that I'm not a cow, but I know spoiled milk and what it tastes like. You don't have to be a Charolais heifer to understand that. You know, average fans don't have to understand X's and O's, but they do know dumb penalties when they see them. They do know lack of discipline, and that kept coming back over and over again from the fans today. They do know a team that plays with heart. And I know Cliff Kingsbury said post-game he didn't think his team quit. Well, that's the scary thing. If they didn't quit, and that's the best they are, there's a problem. If they did quit, there's a problem. Either way, there's a problem. Respect for the game, the targeting penalties, the 15-yarders, all of that stupidity that went on. If I were the head coach right now, Murphy doesn't play next week. You send a message, you bench a guy. Because really, at what point does it matter? Screw the X's and O's right now. You're fighting for the culture and the direction of the program if you want to be the head coach here 4 years from now. If you don't worry about it. Respect for the game and progress. That one kept coming back over and over from fans today. A lack of progress. And in year 4, that matters. Right now under Cliff Kingsbury, they're lacking in all the areas, and the average fan sees it. You combine the impact of social media now. It accelerates the reaction. And for the first time at Texas Tech, Kirby Hocutt has a Kirby Hocutt problem. It's not that he hired Cliff Kingsbury. I think it goes back now to the fans looking at the extension given after the first year when he was playing with Tommy Tuberville's players and had a decent record, finished horribly, won the bowl game. If he doesn't beat Arizona State in that bowl game, is there an extension? Is that any reason to give an extension to a young, unproven head coach that nobody wants, and he's probably not going anywhere? It was a bad idea then. It's a bad idea now. It looks even worse for Kirby Hocutt. And again, for the first time, we're seeing people now say that Hocutt may be part of the problem. You know, with Hocutt catching flack for the extension, he gave you what you wanted initially. You wanted a link to Mike Leach. You wanted a link to the air raid. You wanted a favorite son. He did that, but it's the extension on him. Bad then, worse now. Let's forget Cliff Kingsbury right now. Tonight, Kirby Hocutt, for the first time in his tenure at Tech, has a real crisis of confidence, not just in the program, but in him and how he handles it, what Kirby Hocutt does going forward, and how this season plays out and how he handles it. As much as what happens with Cliff Kingsbury and on-the-field stuff, it's going to determine Kirby Hocutt's future at Texas Tech and really the future of Texas Tech athletics. I don't envy Kirby Hocutt right now. I think he's in a tough spot. I think you would like to wait till the full season to evaluate, but right now the fans who have multiple ways to speak more than ever before are telling you they're frustrated with the product on the field, not just the fact they're losing, but how they're losing. That's not going to be easy to fix in a couple of weeks. All right, we love you guys. Part of this podcast brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza. If you're hungry tonight watching some football, go to Domino's.com. Appreciate you hanging out on the site. If you hadn't told folks about us, we're having a lot of fun here in Raiderland. We're only about a month and a half old. We welcome your feedback. So you can comment on this, you can share it, you can put it on Facebook, Twitter. We don't care what you do. It's great to be able to visit with you guys again on a personal level. Miss the old days on the Williams and Hyatt show, but the future now is right here in Raiderland, and that's where everything is going. All right, that's my thoughts tonight. We'll get into the X's and O's later, and really, they were pretty bad. I'll leave you with this thought. If Pat Mahomes is not hurt, if he's not really, really banged up, and that's what you've got for the last game and a half, now take your pick on which one you think is worse. All right, we'll see you on the site.